Formula One is one of the most technically advanced sports in the world, and as such there is a lot of data to analyze, and there's a lot of information that goes into making everything from strategy calls to when to make a pit stop, to which tire you want to choose, and everything in between. And telemetry is a very important part of what this is, and in truth it's something that is not limited to just Formula One, but also you might experience it in everyday life if you've got a relatively modern car. I'll explain by what I mean by that in this video here. So here's everything you need to know about what telemetry is in Formula One. Telemetry in F1 refers to the real-time transmission of data from the car to the pit wall, enabling teams to monitor and analyze various aspects of the car's performance and behavior on the track. This data-driven tech plays a crucial role in the modern F1 racing, allowing teams to make informed decisions and optimize their strategies in the pursuit of victory. So at the end of the day, in most normal running of Formula One races, it's basically used to monitor things like tire temperatures, the pressures, anything to do with the car basically. Usually you'll hear people, well, drivers, when they have some sort of damage, when they think they might have a puncture, when they think they might have, damage to their front wing, and of course Formula One drivers cannot see their front wing from where they're sat, so they'll often ask their race engineer, can you see any damage? Do I need to pit? And the telemetry, the sensors that are in place on the car, because there are hundreds of these that are constantly gathering data points all the time, they can see from the pressures, the temperatures and everything in between whether there is a problem with the car, and if there is a problem with the car, if there is a difference, whether that difference is big enough to warrant a pit stop. It all comes into the strategy, it all comes into the simulations. And telemetry's been in F1 for at least 30 years now. It's been a long time, and like I said in the intro as well, it's something that you might well see in everyday life in your car. My car, for example, I can change different settings on the dash to be able to see different things. I can see real-time fuel consumption, I can see the pressures of the tires, I can see even things like temperature. The temperature outside, that is effectively telemetry, that is data that the car is gathering, and it is presenting it to you in a format that you can understand. Telemetry in Formula One, though, is a lot more complex, and it involves the use of numerous sensors placed throughout the F1 car, and each of these measure a specific parameter such as speed, RPM, tire pressure, brake temperature, and more. There's loads of them within the power unit, of course, as well, to monitor how that is performing and whether there's a potential problem when it comes to temperatures. If your engine's running too hot, it may well blow up. Just ask Pierre Gasly about that. And these sensors generate a constant stream of data as a result, and that is transmitted wirelessly to the team's engineers at the pit wall and back to the factory as well. There is a whole team of hundreds of engineers for every single team that is back at the factory wherever they're based, and they are constantly getting that data in real time and making strategy recommendations based upon that, really, which is just unbelievable when you think about it. They could literally be racing in Australia or racing in South America, and there's a constant stream of data that is processed there within seconds, if that. It's just mesmeric what they can do in Formula One with the technology these days. And the importance of this cannot be overstated. In a sport where success is often determined by fractions of a second, the ability to collect, analyze, and act upon accurate real-time data can make the difference between winning and losing. Telemetry enables teams to monitor the health and performance of the various car systems, identify and diagnose issues before they lead to failures or accidents, optimize tire management and fuel consumption, inform race strategy decisions, and provide drivers with valuable feedback to help them improve their performance. They might even say, well, you might have this damage on your front wing, but it's around 10% damage, and the driver then can use that to basically adjust their driving style accordingly. And there's many different types of data being collected here. There's performance data, condition monitoring data such as the tire pressures, environmental data such as the track temperature and the wind speed. Wind can play a big role in how a Formula One car performs. Just ask Nico Rosberg. Before I go though, the last thing I will quickly go over is how this data is transmitted and analysed. The transmission analysis of data telemetry in Formula One is complex and technologically advanced. It involves a combination of cutting-edge hardware, software and networking technologies that enables teams to receive, process and interpret the vast amount of data generated by car sensors in real time. And it's basically done by a high-frequency wireless network. those little antennae that you might see on cars, they're not for radio, they're actually just for the telemetry. Although in the past, I think, was it Mika Hakkinen in 1998 in Australia, I think he actually picked up a local radio signal and he thought he had to pit as a result. Turns out he didn't, and he could have lost the race because of that, because of team orders and McLaren being so good during that race. They reversed the positions. That's a little bit of tidbit of information for you there, guys. But yeah, we've got a full article over on the F1Chronicle.com that goes over this in even more detail than I can during this 5-minute or so video. Do check that out. If you're on YouTube, the link will be in the description to that. If you're on Microsoft, go search up the website. If you go click the F1 Chronicles logo, which should be either above or below this video depending on the format you're viewing it in, you'll be able to go over there and find this. And of course, for much more F1 Explained videos in this off-season and beyond, do keep it tuned here to the F1Chronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well. I'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.